Okay, welcome everybody. No, we are not transcending Zion. Apparently, I had what's that word? An error in my message when I was reminding you guys to hop on. But I am super excited for this team Zoom. Our team has grown, I think, since the last time we've done this, and so fun. So for those who are not watching or who are not on here live, hopefully you can watch this playback. We just I want to just give a few announcements. We have some fun things happening. I kind of feel like sometimes I have to like hold myself back on our team chat thread because there's so many things I want to be talking about and reminding and letting you know about the events and stuff like that. And so don't get overwhelmed by anything. Just it's exciting. You get to pick and choose what you go to, or what you do, what you don't do. But just know that there's plenty of options right now. If you are wanting to grow your business, if you're wanting to help more people, if you want to help any people, like if you want to just help yourself, there are so many different options right now. We have our 66-day habit challenge that is just getting started. And so if that is something that that interests you, to invite people to, can you guys see me talking? Am I like the main person that is talking?
I see all four.
We have four screens.
Oh, okay. You guys see this gallery view. Okay. I was just seeing Andrea just move all over the place. And so I was like, oh my gosh, can they even hear me? So we have the 66-day challenge. We have an event this Saturday up in Draper. So if you're local to Utah, or even if you want to make a trip down, it is worth going to. It's only $20. We do have to get registrations done by Thursday morning because of food. It does include lunch, and so we do need to get those registrations done ASAP. So continue to invite. I don't even know if they're like, you can do like last minute invitations, or if it has to be like set and we can't invite anymore after that. I'm not sure about that. I'll find out. I just got registered for convention, which is in Atlanta in July. It is over the 24th of July. So those of us in Utah that celebrate the 24th, it is over that. But it's going to be so much fun. I'm really excited for convention because I didn't go last year and I kind of missed it a little bit. So I'm just excited to get back with the peeps. So let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Is there any other announcements you guys can think of? We have lots of fun events. That event that we're having on Saturday, we're actually going to be having them around the country over the next few months. So let me know if there's like a particular location that you're curious about. I know there's one in a couple weeks that's up in Idaho, things like that. So, okay, well, I'm actually going to turn the time over to Wade. So Wade actually is the one that came up with our team name of Team Transcend. And so he's going to explain what that means and why it's important and what it has to do with health coaching, because it's such an awesome thing. So take it away, Wade.
Okay. So let me just start out by disqualifying myself. I'm not an expert. I'm just like you. We're all the same. We all have the same goals, but we're a team and we're working toward those goals together. And so what this training that we've put together is to kind of get us all on the same page and to get us really moving forward. Now, I don't know what everybody on the team's goals are as far as what you want to do with Optavia. I don't know, if your goal is to help a few people or to really, move up the ranks. But either way, it doesn't really matter, because all this is about is reaching your goals, whatever they might be. I'm going to do this in a really old school way. I hope you can forgive me. I'm going to be using, well, it might not even be a very good idea because there's a reflection, but anyway, this is what it is. Does anybody know what it means to transcend something? The definition of transcendence is to move beyond. It's to rise above or move past something, right? So in this case, I'm going to give an example of what that could mean. You hear about transcendent athletes, or they've been blessed with some skills that allow them to play better than everybody else, right? But I believe that everyone can transcend to meet their goals. I'm going to give you an example of and I'll illustrate it the best I can. I'm not a very good artist. But anyway, if Tony can hold this, all this is a whiteboard. It has, we have Andrea and we have Sarah, right? Now, this line is her progress and Sarah's progress. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare this to, because it's part of my life, I guess, the Army's fitness test. Okay. So say Andrea, and we're just going to use the run for the most part. Say Andrea can run for the 2 mile race, it's not a race, it's a 2 mile run that everybody has to do. She can run it in 16 minutes, right? So I'm just going to put it, that's Andrea. She can run 16 minutes. Sarah right now can run the race in 14, and let's see, she runs it in 18 and a half minutes. And that's where I was at before running the race, or not, it was a run, sorry. So I had a buddy, just like Sarah has Andrea, where he was running at 16 minutes and I felt super slow. And I'm like, well, what is he doing to run, and it's 16 minutes isn't super fast for the run. But that's where we were at the time. So 18:30. So this would be 16 minutes flat. Okay. So Sarah thinks to herself, I need to figure out what to do, because I want to run in 14 minutes. Now, all of this is great, especially when you have time on your side. If you've got some time, which we all have, right? We've got, we plan on doing this for, we don't have a stopping point, and I doubt anybody here has a stopping point. So we have time on our side. And that's a big factor in this. We're going to, now say Sarah has from now until April, the end of April, to get 14 minutes. Now she's got to shave 4.5 minutes off of her time. And she's looking at Andrea and she's like, wow, Andrea is really fast. She runs like 2.5 minutes faster than I do, right? So what happens when Sarah wants to transcend what she's doing right now to a place that she wants to be? Is it going to happen? Maybe if she continues to do the things that she's doing now, is it going to happen? No. She's in a place where she may even just have the natural ability to run at 16 minutes. Okay. And where Sarah needs a little bit of work to get to that point. So what Sarah starts doing, it's all done in increments, small increments, right? Because over time, you've got that luxury. So she's going to start taking steps one by one by one. Every week she's got goals, and she runs a little bit, tries to get just a little bit faster. She does some 60 120s, and she does some speed work, and she runs some hills, and little by little, she doesn't have to do it all at once, right? She doesn't have to just bust it to the end. She's got 4 months to do it in. So she's gonna take that time, and she's going to say, okay, I've got this week, but she's gonna break that down into days, right? And she's gonna say, what can I do today that's going to move me along. Well, in a couple of months, she watches, she goes on the 4 and 2, she does, she does her workout, she's following everything she's supposed to, but she's doing the work little by little by little. Eventually she's going to end up right here at 16 minutes maybe in half the time, maybe in 2 months. And then she still has 2 months to go before the PT test. So she's by taking those little steps, she's transcending to that 16-minute mark. And then, the rest, she's going to continue to do those things, and she's going to continue to take small steps, but she's going to build on it and build on it until the end of the 4 months. And then all of a sudden, because she did the work, the little steps along the way, she's going to end up running it. This is actually moving toward a lesser time, right? To her 14-minute goal, or maybe even exceeding that and going sub 14. So what happened up here? She comes in and she runs her test at 16. Why did she run her test at 16? Why did you do that, Andrea?
Because I was comfortable. Because I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
So why not keep doing what I'm doing?
Yeah, and you were happy with 16. I mean, 16's passing. It's a half decent score, right? So but when we compare this, or when we liken this to Optavia, there are people, like, we all fall along a spectrum. And I might be right here, and Andrea's here, and Sarah's here, or whoever, right? And Tony's out here, who knows? There's going to be other people who are on that spectrum where you're at. If you start taking those steps along the way, and you just continue that, the person who's at the same place that you're at, and I'm not saying it's a competition or anything like that, I'm just saying that's a measuring stick. If you compare yourself to somebody who's like quite a bit farther ahead than you are, then you're not really measuring very well, because you're measuring against somebody that's in a different place than you. But you'll see that as you continue to take those small steps daily, they're going to add up, and you're going to start to see yourself moving along that spectrum. And that's what we want to do. So let's see, was there anything else I was going to add to that? Tony, did you have something?
I don't think so. Not that I can think of.
Okay, so I mean, the whole point is that we all as a team begin to and with Corinne as our fearless leader, she's going to help us define what those little steps are. We know what some of them are. We do the action steps as well. But if we can come up with some really good ways to do this as a team, so that we're all moving along, everybody's going to progress together. And then as we get more and more people under us, with us, working with us or whatever, then then we'll be able to even see more progress. Does that kind of, I guess?
Hey, wait.
Uh-huh.
I love this, because it's reminding me of what I've kind of been going through recently.
Okay.
So last month, when Corinne gave us the holiday hoopla for our team, as well as new coaches, I was like, I'm totally going to do that. And last month was really crappy for me. And it didn't work out for me mentally to be in a spot where I was focused on that. And then it came to the end of the month, and my awesome coach, Sarah, reached out to me and she said, you're really close to reaching your goal that you've been shooting for like 2 years. You should just do it. And so I went for it, and I actually got it. And but the thing is I knew that I was still at a standstill in my business. I knew that just because I pushed through and was able to get all of my clients to order doesn't mean that I'm going to continue to up my pace like I want to. And so instead of saying, oh, well, I didn't get that holiday hoopla, money from Corinne, so that's out the window. Instead, I've been thinking, no, I need to keep moving forward and do all the things that are on this list. I need to be reaching out to people. I'm trying to get 10 health assessments this month. And honestly, I've probably messaged 65 people in the last week, because I'm just putting it out there.
It sounds like you're on fire.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to say, sure, I'll listen to what you have to say. And I'm just saying, I need practice. Help me practice.
Yeah.
And I've done 3 health assessments in the past 2 days. And, none of them have agreed to do the program, but I figure it's just like that race. It's just like trying to up your time. If we talk to enough people, not only will we eventually get a yes, but we are honing our skills and
Right.
sharpening our tools in order to be ready when the right people are ready.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the one thing that I didn't get into today is becoming basically not who you are today. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like what you're doing today, becoming like I heard what's his name? I can't think of names. Jared Smithson. He said one time when we first got to Vegas, he's like, who do you need to become? What do you need to do? Who do you need to be in order to reach the goals that you actually want to be? And that kind of made a light go off in my head where I was like, yeah, what I'm doing right now and who I am right now isn't going to get me to where I need to be. And so I need to change, and I need to go. He even mentioned going through processes, and we can talk more about this later. So I know we don't have a ton of time, but there's more to it. Going through processes, going through steps, and actually like becoming the person that is capable of bigger things. It's still us, it's still ourself, but improving our skills and improving our abilities and that kind of thing. If we stay where we're at, like my friend did with his 16 minutes, then he's going to have to be happy with getting 16 minutes. And if he's happy with that, great. But if he wants to be better, if he wants to achieve more, he has to do more, and he has to become more of him for himself anyway. So yeah, it goes right along with what you're saying, increasing what we're doing, but not just increasing what we're doing, working smart and working like other people who are successful at it, kind of like making ourselves more like them, I guess.
I really love that you brought that up, Wade. Actually, I put that in the chat thread that, like, we're told all the time, and sometimes in our brain we kind of get in our head about like how we compare ourselves to other people. Like, we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people. But I love how you said like who are you measuring yourself against? Like, are you measuring somebody that's a presidential director and being like, oh my gosh, I'm not, like, I could never do that or whatever? I mean, no, I mean, it's completely different. But like, I love to look at people who, like the people on the Rank Up call today, so many Fibics. I love to like hear their stories and hear what they're doing and stuff like that, because it helps me, because I'm, like I'm not better or I'm not worse, or we're pretty close to the same right now, as our rank is concerned. And it helps me realize, like, what can I be working on to become better? And I love that you brought up the process. And Andrew, you even named some of those steps of the process. So like we have like transactional steps that's part of the process, but then we have also transformational steps that's part of the process. Like, what type of person do you have to be in order to lead a team? What type of person do you have to be able to manage 40 clients, if that's what you want? Or, things like that. And and then once you realize those types of things, you can go back and do the transactional process. Like, okay, I need to be better with my time, or I need to be a better listener, or whatever it is. And so will you just read one more time, just as we're ending, what the definition of Transcend is? Wade, can you do that for me? Oh, you're muted. Just a second. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't reading it. I was just saying, kind of giving a definition of it. But it means to move beyond something, like where you're at now. It means to rise above, or to just push beyond where you're at.
Okay.
Through processes.
I absolutely love this. And this word has actually been on my mind for like the last month. And so I was really excited when Wade said that he wanted to talk about this tonight, because I thought it was such a good reminder for us as individuals. And it's kind of fun to think about doing it as a team too. Like, how can we as a team help more people, whether it's through coaching or clients or whatever? We have so much to offer people. How can we do this as a team? How can we affect more people? How can we reach more people?
Yeah, and we can use, we can bounce all these ideas off of each other. Like, if I find something that I find, wow, that really works, and I can bring it and say, hey, try this, and you guys do the same thing, then we're kind of creating that well, trying to think of the word for it, like I don't know.
Like a camaraderie? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah, it's kind of like that,
Like you work together.
Yeah, a dynamic is the word I was trying to think of. A dynamic on the team where we're all pushing each other forward. It's like Jared Smithson said, what do you say? Like, a high tide rises all the ship, makes all the ships go higher. Yes. So
what a fun concept to think about too, as we're starting this new year, this new decade. Like, how can we all rise together? How can we transcend to the next level? Whatever that is. That's going to be different for everybody, but everybody can do it. So yeah. I absolutely love that. Okay. Any last thoughts or anything before we end? Okay. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Wade. I can tell that this has been on your mind a lot, and I really appreciate it. Like, I seriously think about this word all the time. I need to just write it on my wall so that way I can see it all the time. But did you want to say something else?
No, no. If you wanted to read about transcendentalism, it's Henry David Thoreau, and there's a couple other philosophers that.
Oh, really?
Kind of it's a whole movement. It's not something I'm making up or anything like that.
We'll give you the credit. I didn't know.
I did it. It was all
right. How fun. Okay, well, hopefully some of you guys are hopping onto the Explore Zoom. So let's transcend, you guys. Let's do it as a team. I'm excited. I have big goals for this year and for this next decade. I know that. And so if I haven't heard your guys' goals yet, make sure you tell me, because we can't transcend if we don't talk, if we don't communicate. So, okay, well, I'll let you guys go for the night. Have a good evening. Have a good rest of your month. And for those of you who couldn't hop on live, hopefully you can watch this playback and know that we love you too. So we'll see you guys.
All right. Thanks.
See ya.